Welcome back, everyone. This is the second series of Are You Being Gentle with Your Mental? This is your creator and host, Jess the Best, and I have a special guest with me to celebrate my new season and my birthday, you guys. I am 29 on the 29th, and I was born in 92. Let me know how you guys feel about that because I feel so special. But I am so happy that I get to have my mom, aka Miss Granada, with me. How are you feeling today?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I would just wanted to bring you on, to share our journey together, our life, and even a mindful practice that we do together. And so maybe you can start off with just sharing like who you are as this beautiful being in this world.
Well, I am a mother of four. I was the firstborn of five. I have two brothers and two sisters. And I am a USC alumni. And I am a believer in Christ.
Beautiful. And my mother. You are my beautiful mother. And I am so glad that you are here with me today. As I mentioned, I'm just so excited to dive into this conversation. And I just want to take a moment and share with everyone that this episode is called Chosen One because as as my mom mentioned, she has four children, but she only had three boys, and then she had me as her last child. So I do feel like I was the chosen one, not off no cockiness or even being conceited. I just truly feel like I was the chosen one in many situations of my life. And maybe, mom, you can even share, during your pregnancy with me, how was that?
Well, it was different than the other three. And I was excited because I definitely wanted a daughter and to have that experience, but I didn't want to get too overwhelmed during my pregnancy, so I didn't want to know the sex of the child till you were born. And what a pleasant surprise. God gave me my miracle that I was
Yes,
asking and praying for.
Jessica, even though you wanted to name me, what was the name that you wanted to name me? Thank God for my aunt Terry because she was able to help us out with that. But what was the name? I think it was.
Yes, I really at that time, the actress Sophia Loren, I was really impressed with her work. And so I was going to call you Sophia, but my sisters wouldn't allow me to do that. So we searched for baby names in the book of children names, and your Aunt Terry came across the name of Jessica. And we looked at the meaning and definition. And so I was okay with that.
Yes, and the name Jessica does mean wisdom. And I named myself Jess the Best back in middle school when I actually used to write poetry. And I was writing a poetry about myself, and I was like, okay, Jess the Best. I was like, I like that. I was like, I actually want to continue to be called that. So I would write it everywhere and I would greet people and tell them, hey, my name is Jess the Best. So, if you guys know me from back in the day, you guys definitely know that I've been Jess the Best. It's nothing new. So I definitely, love that my name was Jessica. So thank you, mom. And thank you. Shout out to my aunt Terry. Definitely rest in power to her. Mom, we're really embracing just a new decade. We're 3 months into the year, it's Women History Month. And just how was it really raising a daughter back in the 90s?
Uh, it was terrifying because when you were born, it was during the time of the Rodney King beating, and you were just a few months after the LA riots began, a few months old. And so it was challenging time, um, but thank God he kept us.
Yes, yes, he did. And maybe what are some of your, feelings about society nowadays?
Well, I'm very hopeful for the new generation that's coming up of millennials and Gen Zs that they will find a way to correct a lot of the problems that we still see persist in society today that many thought had changed, but we're still dealing with the same problems we were dealing with when I was born. I'm a child of the 60s, and looking at what's going on in society today, it doesn't seem like anything's changed politically.
Yeah. Yes, and I think that where the change comes is within ourselves. I think it starts there. And so I know we've been able to see a grand change in our lives, as far as self-care and self-love. And I know we're going to get into that, a little later about our mindfulness practice. But when we think about some hardships, when you think about a fork in the road in your life, what was it and why did you choose that particular path?
I would say that one of the major forks in my life that I incurred at a young age was after the death of my mother. I was in college at the time, and it was during my senior year. I had to make the decision to take a leave of absence for a year because I had your brother was born, my firstborn, and to get my situation together and regroup. And so I took that 1 year. At that time, I was able to obtain a job making good money. And so I had to decide, was I going to go back at the end of the year, my break, or would I continue working? And I made the decision to go back and complete my career for so many reasons, um, because of all of the sacrifices um, that had been made for me to be on that in that position, uh, that I couldn't not just quit and give up on it. And that was one of the best decisions I made.
I love that because you truly inspired me. If you didn't make that choice, I know I probably wouldn't have been so eager to go into college and knew that I was college bound right when I started school. I think you gave me that instant gratification, knowing that I came from a family of educators. And I know you mentioned, even when I was in first grade, I would just be ready to go to school and just be open to learning. And so maybe just looking back at your life thus far, what are the most proudest moments that you have of me?
Oh, wow, so many. Uh, you began playing the violin in the second grade, um, and you picked it up so quickly that you ended up playing for the city in the orchestra. And from there, you graduation from high school and going on to college at Cal State, um, graduating, being honored for the 30 under 30 and just starting your business within the last year, year and a half, and what you've accomplished uh, with that. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm truly honored, and I just I just thank you for always being supportive of whatever I wanted to be, wherever I needed to be. You just always supported me and just always would tell me to do the right thing. And I stuck with that. That stuck with me when hard decisions came. Even though if I went left, I think I went more right than left in life. But I'm definitely, just thinking over those times. I'm definitely grateful for it all. I'm grateful that I had a supportive mom that could be there in those very found moments for me to be who I am today and to speak from such heart of gratitude. So thank you, mom. I just want to say thank you so much, and I love you. Um, maybe what is the happiest memory that you'll cherish forever?
The happiest memory of for myself or about you? Which
Maybe with us, other than just me, maybe then what that we shared together. I know we've been able to travel together and be in spaces, but maybe what is just the happiest memory of us, I would say.
well, I would say our family vacations we would go on in the summer. Those were some of the happiest memories and times that I cherish the most now after coming through COVID last year and not being able to see my grandchildren and hug them and having to visit through Zoom calls and FaceTiming. Yes, I truly cherish those moments and looking forward to scheduling our next family vacation, hopefully this summer as things seem to be opening up.
Yeah, most definitely. I look forward to us traveling again together. And maybe if you can just be 100% honest, what have you always wanted to ask me?
Hmm. Um, what is it that motivated you to continue your education and not give up after incurring so many obstacles during your senior year when many didn't make it? Many dropped out halfway through, but you were able to persevere until the end. What motivated you?
Mm, great question. For me, I was always motivated to go to college. You installed that in me. You let me know that education was something that couldn't be, taken away. And so I was just like, yep, I'm going to college. I'm going to get my college degree. I'm just going to be just like my mom. And, the first year of college, I had my first panic attack where I thought I was actually going to die. And I was just sitting there and I was like, is this really the end of my life? Like I won't be able to graduate. Like God save me, please. And I think in so many moments I had asked God to save me, to continue to save me and be with me. After following that, my house got broken into, things were stolen from me, broken relationships, just no support where I just felt as far as like, outside support that I can kind of go to really speak through. And, therapy wasn't something that I was really open to, wasn't something that we grew up with. You'd just be like, you better pray about it. And I was just honestly in deep devotion And really, in moments of reflection, when those moments had hit me hard, when I was just like, wow, I felt so broken. I felt at my lowest where I was just like, why me, God? Instead of not like, why me? But I didn't understand like what was this teaching me, or what was he trying to show me at those moments. And so I'm really glad that I kept still that motivation that was in me since a child. It didn't let up, and I would continue to pray over my situation when I took time to be away from friends, from just the outside world, and really go within and start the healing process. And I knew I needed to go back. I knew that, like I said, when I was young, I had this goal. It wasn't just something that, in high school, I was like, oh, okay, I had this college fair, and yeah, that's where I'm going to go. Like, literally, I knew I was going to be going to college ever since primary. And so I just knew I was destined for greatness. I knew I had a bigger purpose in life to fulfill, and I couldn't let something that I can no longer control my life. And so I had to surrender, and I had to let go of the what ifs, and just all the nonsense, all the noise in my head, and had to really, just like as I mentioned, just release it. And once I did that and I got clarity, I was able to go back to school and finish. I at times I had I had supportive people around me that, you know, I was learning how to have safe boundaries, and I was so glad that I had the courage to finish. Because when your laptop is broken, not broken, when your house is broken too, and you get your laptop, stolen, and all your work is on there, you're just thinking like, how can I replace this? Nothing. All material stuff is just, it's replaceable, but sometimes, like, things that I had that were stolen from me just are, I will never get back. And so I was just always motivated to take those hard lessons that I learned, and and just turn them into basically a greater good, into me continue on, and to continue to get my degree, and to continue to show up for myself, and keep my word, keep my own word to myself, and not let up. And so I also knew your story, your story, as that when you had that fork in the road of your life, I could have given up. You could have given up, and I possibly wouldn't have been inspired to go to college, but you didn't. You kept on going on, and you persevered. And so I want to thank you for being that example for me. And one example that I know that I'm thankful that I started taking in was wellness. And I started incorporating yoga and meditation, and I would be deep in my healing. And I would love to share just how our relationship got closer with being able to practice mindfulness more, and deeper our practice in that. And with our personal healing, I'm so glad that we've been able to spend so much time together this past year, and we're both filling each other cups up. And you introduced like an activity to me, and I would love for you to explain, the significance of this practice, and how others can also be able to do the same with their mother or their loved ones.
Yes. Actually, I came across this practice while I was rehabbing, and I was listening to a gentleman by the name of Trenton Shelton, and he was talking about his experiences on his journey, and he used the practice where he had these 5 A's, and every morning he would take a moment, a few minutes to jot down each one before he started his day. And I thought it would be a great way when we were going through the COVID and there was so much loss and sadness in the world to start implementing this practice between the two of us. and you were on your mindfulness journey as well. So it really worked out for us. We enjoyed doing it. It's something I look forward to every evening
Mhm.
and truly miss it if we're not able to do it. So um, it's been helpful for me, and um, I share it with everyone that I come across that may be struggling in certain areas of their life and to maybe implement this practice as well.
Yeah, so you guys, it's our 5 A's. We do these 5 A's where it's acknowledgement, appreciation, accomplishment, affection, and acceptance. And mom, do you want to go into, each one and just share a little bit feedback about that, or would you like me to?
Okay, sure, I could do that. Um, Accomplishment. Um, if I'm looking, usually we do this for the daily accomplishments that we do, daily goals that we set. But if I'm looking at it over the span of my life, what my greatest accomplishments are, uh, being a mother of four beautiful children and a grandmother to four grandsons. Um, I recently retired. Um, Now I'm free to pursue my purpose and in my free time. So I'm thankful to God for that. Um, um, and my purpose is working with um, at risk youth. Uh, and what I acknowledge, a few things that I have that I keep before me as reminders um, that keep me on the straight and narrow path. Uh, that the more I learn, the more I earn. I grew up as a young child in the seventh grade. I became an avid reader. It's actually what helped me to get through my college years. So much reading and studying. I also acknowledge that what I do frequently becomes my frequency. So that keeps me accountable to myself. Um, and I say the third point would be what I cannot measure, I cannot manage. For appreciation, what I appreciate, um, I just appreciate all of the blessings that God has bestowed upon me. I appreciate His grace and mercy. Um, Also, just the simple things of life that I sometimes tend to take for granted, the little things. And for affection, usually it's from the heart. Anything, if someone's affectionate towards me or I do something for someone, I help someone in some way, that's affection. Or either it could just be as simple as self care, just taking a day for myself.
Mm.
Um, and Acceptance. What do I accept? Uh, I usually pray the serenity prayer at least once or twice a day, having to accept the fact that I can not change anyone's behavior. I can change the way I respond or react to it, but there's only certain things that we can control in this life, and that's our own actions. And that's pretty much my 5 A's for the day.
Wow, lovely. With it being my birthday, um, just, with the 5 A's, it's just so special to me because it reminds me of the first one. Acknowledgement that I like to start with is, the air in my lungs. And I can easily put my 5 fingers, my hand on my heart. I can put my toes on the ground and I could be grounded in my truth and grounded in my being. So I just acknowledge life as itself and being a new age and a new chapter. I'm in my last 20s, and so it's exciting. And I'm just having flashbacks of so many memories of my childhood, and I can just speak, so freely now. I think it's just like I really found my voice. And so if anything, I appreciate that. I appreciate, finding my voice in this new age. Um, some things that I've accomplished, is really starting my business, really going after what God planted, the seed that He planted in me during my fasting, my times that I fasted with Him, and He would reveal visions and speak to me. And so I'm so glad that I accomplished just the beginning steps, and now it's like a baby, and it's producing and growing. And so I I really look forward to how that will continue to build. The affection that I felt is the self love, taking moments to be able to get away and take a quick trip and just explore life and be adventurous and keep good company, keep good conversations going. I really do love the self love that I've been able to pour back in for my birthday. Um, I accept, I accept, I accept the truth of life. Um, I accept that, you know, everything might not go as planned, but stay prepared. Stay prepared for those, those mishaps that may happen in life. I really love doing the 5 A's with you and going through it because it helps me not just give like such a vague answer, but it helps me go back really and think about, you know, my day or something that it makes me go a little bit deeper. And so I really want to encourage anyone listening, if the 5 A's are something that, maybe you do one of them, um, already. Maybe it's something that you're always, shouting that you appreciate, or you're writing down something that you're grateful for. But we really challenge you to take this practice in as your own. Take these 5 A's and start doing it with your loved one, with your friends, and just writing it out or even speaking it out loud. And mom, I just want to thank you so much for doing this practice with me, and then getting our other family members involved. I think it really has shifted the energy into a positive place. And so I know we didn't have these moments growing up, so I'm so glad that we are present now, and we can speak of that. So I just want to thank you so much for birthing me, for being, for carrying me, for choosing me. Um, I thank God for placing us together on our journey. I really thank you for taking the time to do this interview with me. the truest and most important person in my life. And without you and your support, I wouldn't be the woman I am today. So thank you. And I just want to send all my love and energy to everyone listening, that if you have a mother or if you are a mother, you matter. And if you haven't talked to your mother or you need to heal that relationship, take those steps. And maybe you can start with the 5 A's. Maybe you can start with just a conversation. Maybe you can share this podcast with your mother or just tune into it. But please share, please listen to what we had said about our life, and maybe this will inspire you. And if it does, go ahead and leave an Apple review podcast that makes go on Apple Podcasts and leave a review. I'm sorry, I think I said that backwards, but please leave a review. That makes a heck of a difference for us podcasters. Screenshot, let me know that you're listening on my birthday or whenever. That's how you can say happy birthday to me. Just just please subscribe, and let us continue to definitely build the table together. Thank you to all the matriarchs out there. Thank you to all the women. We honor you as we close out this history month. But you will forever be the co-creators of this world. And thank you, Mom. I honor you, Miss Granada. And if there's anything that you love to tell the listeners before we wrap up, maybe you could even share. Answer the question of the podcast: are you being gentle with your mental?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate this opportunity. I'm truly honored and blessed um, that God may use me as a vessel, um, a yielded vessel, to birth you and to raise you, and gave me such a great honor and responsibility that I didn't take lightly. Um, but to see you moving in the field of mindfulness, I'm loving it because it's helping me to heal in some areas uh, that I need to address, and just to take time and take a pause and reflect. And it's been wonderful for me. So I would, to anyone that's listening, if you're dealing with stressful situation, anxiety, what have you, instead of taking medication, try something natural, holistic, and see how that works. And it's been wonderful. Um, I utilize an app that's called Insight Timer, and they have different meditation practices there. So if you're looking for a resource, that would be one, and it's free. And there's multiple different types of individuals on there, and so you could find what best fits you or what you're seeking for. And I'm just thankful to be on this journey.
Amazing. Well, you guys heard it. This is who I was birthed from. My mother, she's helped me be gentle with my mental, and I actually was with her when I created this when I actually was received the vision. I was at her home, and we were discussing, like, okay, we gotta start some discussions, but how can we do it? And are you being gentle came through the divine connections, and I'm just so thankful that you were here to witness it all. So thank you, Mom, and we love you.